celebration. As Muslims all over the world celebrate Eid Mubarak at their various places of worship with the congregational Eid prayers, President Muhammadu Buhari was among worshippers at the Mambila Barracks Eid ground in Abuja. The President and other worshippers were at the prayer ground in demonstration of their appreciation to the Creator for his guidance, protection, and mercies during the blessed month. In his message, the presiding Imam, represented by Warrant Officer Dahiru Shua, admonished the congregation to keep alive the value and virtues of Ramadan even after the holy month for eternal peace and salvation. He stressed the need for genuine repentance from sin by all, love for one another, forgiveness, tolerance, and constant prayers to Allah as the weapon against all adversaries of life. President Muhammadu Buhari admitted having sleepless nights over security situations in parts of the country, but however promised to spare no efforts at dealing decisively and mercilessly with the criminal gangs.
Make the environment secure, especially when the rainy season is coming, so that farmers can go back to their farms and we wouldn't have problem of food security. Heads of services, Army, Navy, Air Force, Inspector General of Police, and so on, are very much aware of the situation. It's their duties to know where the terrorists are and eliminate them.
On the forthcoming general elections, the President reaffirms the commitment of his administration to free, fair, and transparent process. Asked on who he would hand over to in 2023, the President said whoever Nigerians elect to succeed him. This is the first time President Muhammadu Buhari will be observing the Fitr prayers outside the presidential villa since the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, as Muslims mark Eid al-Fitr, President Muhammadu Buhari has sent his best wishes to Muslims in Nigeria and across the world, celebrating the occasion, saying there is hope for the nation in overcoming its challenges. In a statement by presidential spokesman Garuba Shehu, Buhari said the end is in sight for those hiding under the banner of religion to commit heinous crimes. The president further stated that with the designation of bandit groups as terrorists, the challenges of banditry and kidnapping are being tackled differently in the northwest and north-central states, where the latest military acquisitions and the armed forces are being deployed across the region to thwart acts of terror. He said his administration was equally getting impressive reports of the special operations to curb crude oil theft and illegal oil bunkering in the South, with millions of illegally refined products being impounded and illegal refineries destroyed. And to serve as motivation, according to the statement, President Buhari granted approvals for the promotion of more than 3,500 officers, procurement of operational equipment, training for personnel, and buildings for residential barracks for the concerned agency. The President also directed increased coordination and cooperation among security agencies, saying that an end has been brought to the solo approach among the agencies, even as he gave assurance that there will be no shortage of funds to provide security for the citizens. Similarly, Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abeokuta has felicitated Muslims on the celebration of Eid al-Fitr, which signifies the end of fasting in the holy month of Ramadan. Governor Abeokuta, who noted that fasting in the month of Ramadan is one of the pillars of Islamic faith, felicitated Muslims in the state for seeing the end of the spiritual exercise. The governor, in a statement by his chief press secretary, Kunle Shomori, however, enjoined Muslim faithfuls to continue to hold on to the piety and spiritual elevation attained during the fasting period. He noted that though the country is passing through some challenges, Muslims deserve to celebrate the end of the month of mercy and forgiveness. Abeokuta, however, urged the people to celebrate with moderation and ensure they share with the less privileged. He further urged them to pray for peace in the country and the state, assuring that his administration will continue to create conducive atmosphere to enhance economic development and growth. Reiterating his position during the Ramadan lecture held on Friday with the theme, Get Rich Quick Syndrome, refocusing the Nigerian youth for a greater future, Governor Abeokuta said it is most unfortunate that youth of today prefer to cut corners to get things done quickly. Abeokuta noted that it is sad that the younger ones are not ready to wait again but to get rich quickly, said that the society is now faced with myriad of challenges more than ever before. Abeokuta called on government, parents, guardians, school administrators, religious leaders, and other stakeholders to come together to chart a course to harness the raw energies of youth in the country towards positive enterprise, adding that parents must take up their jobs as parents and appreciate the fact that they have the divine responsibility for the proper upbringing of children, as the entire process of socialization starts from the home. While wishing Muslim faithfuls a happy Eid al-Fitr celebration, the governor reiterated his administration's commitment to the provision and delivery of good governance to the people of the state. A call has gone to political office holders and those aspiring to hold offices to do so moderately and never allow the situation to go out of hand before, during, and after the general elections. Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun stated this at the Eid al-Fitr prayers held at the Lantoro Prayer Ground. Bumi Adigun covered the prayer session and he completes the report.
After 30 days of fasting and prayer by Muslims come the Eid al-Fitr. As it is done every Muslim festival, Lantoro Eid Prayer Ground in Abeokuta also hosted Muslim faithful to thank Almighty Allah for the successful 30-day fasting period and prayer. Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun's entourage was led by his Chief of Staff, Alhaji Salis Shuaib, joined by other top government functionaries. Chief Imam of Ebaland, Sheikh Sadala Bangbola, thanked Almighty God for the grace as he enjoined all to continue the good way of life, not only during Ramadan, but after. Addressing the Muslim gathering after the prayer, Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, who spoke through Alhaji Salisu Shuaib, felicitates Ogun State Muslims as he told them to be steadfast.
But beyond Ramadan, the virtues that we have picked up in the month of Ramadan and the vices we have dropped, we shouldn't return to the vices, and we should keep the virtues.
Speaking about the next general elections, Alhaji Salisu Shuaib said Ogun State has gone past the era of violence, as the governor of Ogun State is peace-loving and assured that this will be maintained.
So all politicians, across all political parties, across all the states, we must ensure that as we approach the political process, we must do so with the fear of God, and to also ensure that the process is peaceful, is violence-free, is without rank. Of course, there will be competition. Let us engage robustly, intellectually. Let us engage robustly on the basis of our different policies and programs.
Prayers were offered for Ogun State and Nigeria as a whole. Bumi Adigun, OGTV News.
The Ogun State Deputy Governor, Engineer Noimot Salako Ojutele, has joined all the faithful to pray at this year's Eid al-Fitr with the charge on Muslims to continue to imbibe all the teachings of the holy month of Ramadan, even after at the end of the fast. Elizabeth Esson, who witnessed the Eid prayers held at the Old Prayer Ground, Onimokon House in Ota, reports that the Olata of Ota, Oba Abdulkaber, Oba Lanlege, and other notable indigenes of Ota were among the faithful in attendance. A report.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! 2022 Eid al-Fitr prayers as conducted by Sheikh Mohammed Sabika Inaladi
at the Old Prayer Ground Onimoton House in Ota to mark the end of this year's Ramadan fast. The Eid prayers, which was the convergence of Muslim faithfuls, had in attendance the Ogun State Deputy Governor, Engineer Noimot Salako Yedele, the Olota of Ota Land, Oba Abdukabir Obalan Lege, and other notable sons and daughters of Ota Land. They charged faithfuls to celebrate the season in moderation and continue to live in obedience to the will of Allah, even after Ramadan.
Is that all the good deeds that we do in Ramadan, we should continue them, all the things that we have left, because we know that they are not what Allah wants from us. We should leave them behind permanently. And our prayer is that our society will continue to be safe, and that we will grow in faith, and that we will live long to witness many more Ramadans in the service of Almighty Allah.
All Muslim faithful to remember the teachings of Holy Quran and not to go back into the bad practice in which they have been engaging in before Ramadan.
A period of prayer and devotion that we should continue in that vein even though the Ramadan is over.
The preacher, Sheikh Mohammed Sabika Inaladi, called on Muslims to continue to imbibe the teachings of the holy month of Ramadan in all their deeds. Prayers were thereafter offered for Allah's continued blessings and protection over Ota Land, Ogun State, and Nigeria as a whole. Elizabeth Tesson, OGTV News.
The Ogun State Governor, Prince Dapo Abeokuta, has said that his administration would not condone any act of criminality capable of truncating the peace and tranquility being enjoyed by the residents of the state. Governor Abeokuta gave the warning at the reception organized for members of the Ogun State League of Imams and Afars to commemorate this year's Eid al-Fitr celebration at the Presidential Lodge, Abeokuta. Governor's Office correspondent Yusuf Ganio reports.
The League of Imams and Afars in Ogun State converged on the Presidential Lodge, Abeokuta, to celebrate Eid al-Fitr with Governor Dapo Abeokuta, as well as to appreciate him for his development agenda towards improving the socio-economic growth of the state. Governor Abeokuta, while reassuring that the current administration will always ensure that religious bodies in the state are given equal treatment, implored that religious leaders to interface on behalf of the government by educating youths on the danger inherent in committing crimes. The governor will explain that government has invested heavily in its security architecture towards providing adequate security for investors, stressed that any form of criminality from any quarter will be treated as an act of sabotage.
About 35% of our population, they are an age group, they are a population that we cannot ignore, that the future of today, we need to begin to speak to them. It's obvious that our busy lifestyles have not allowed us to provide the parenting that some of us enjoy when we are growing up. Please help us in preaching to our young ones to shun crime, to shun criminality, to shun banditry, to shun cultisms, to shun terrorism.
He also urged parents and guardians to train their children and wards on the need to stay away from kidnapping, cultism, ritual killing, among others, adding that anyone caught in the act will be treated as a saboteur.
I keep on saying that we are the religious capital of this country. Anything that will affect the desire of investors to continue to come here, as we have witnessed in the last 3 years particularly, is a sabotage against our collective commonwealth, and we will fight it with everything. Anytime we arrest anyone who is either a kidnapper or a cultist, or anyone involved in any of these crimes against humanity, I will demolish the house that it lives in, either they're a tenant or a landlord.
Political and religious leaders present at the occasion lauded the effort of the governor on his transformational programs, while some advised youth to shun any act of criminality.
It's not possible to score 100% in our climb, and also given all the challenges, but within the resources available, within the constraints available, I think he has done well.
We are all living witnesses to what he has been doing. At least We have a lot of improvement in the standard of almost everything in Ogun State. Well, I wish him all the best, all right? I know it's not been easy, but by God's grace, we are there, and we continue to move on. What are the progress of the youth of yesterday? So the youth of today to think well and behave well. If they do that, it will help them. And
in the second segment of the news. Don't go away. Thanks so much for joining us in the second part of the news. As Nigeria joined the world in marking this year's Eid Fitr celebration, Muslim clerics have called for peaceful coexistence among the people during the prayers observed in Abeokuta, Bodiolude Central Mosque 2 and Ahmadiyya movement in Islam at Daton in Abeokuta, Ogun State.
Muslim faithfuls have been fasting in the last 4 weeks, denying their bodies of some pleasures, seeking spiritual connections with God, and converged to observe Eid al-Fitr prayers. The prayers held in Abeokuta, Bodiolude Central Mosque 2, and Ahmadiyya movement in Islam prayer grounds signified the importance of the just concluded Ramadan. The acting chief imam, Ahmadiyya movement in Islam, Ustaz Abdul Waliu Aigoro, advised political office holders to shun all forms of violence in the pursuit of their political ambition. The clerics at this location said the unity of Nigeria is not negotiable. Hence, the Muslim faithful should join hands with government at all levels in promoting peaceful coexistence among citizens. Ramadan fast has effectively come to an end, so these faithfuls have been reminded to put into practice the lessons therein.
As Muslims around the world celebrate Eid Mubarak, which marks the end of the holy month of Ramadan, faithfuls at Ansarudin Society of Nigeria, Kuto Muslim Community, and Saadatu Ahmadiyya Organization of Nigeria prayer grounds in Abeokuta, Ogun State, joined their counterparts to observe Eid Fitr prayers. Details in this package.
Having completed the 1 month-long Ramadan, the time has come for Muslim faithfuls around the world to celebrate the fulfillment of Almighty Allah's directive. The day is set, and as usual, the Muslims trooped into Ansarudin prayer ground. The Eid prayers commenced as soon as the Chief Imam of Ansarudin Society of Nigeria, Ogun State Council, Imam Yunus Odekunle, arrived at the prayer ground. Imam Yunus Odekunle urged the Muslims to emulate the Almighty Allah by living a holy life. Also, Muslim faithfuls assembled at Saadatu Ahmadiyya prayer ground, Abeokuta, to commemorate the completion of Ramadan. Alhaji Ismail Abdulatif, the Chief Imam of Saadatu Ahmadiyya Organization of Nigerian National Mosques, advised the youth to avoid being employed as tools of evil works. Rather, they should work hard and be patient for God's success. Members of Kuto Muslim Community also converged on St. John Anglican Primary School, Kuto, to observe Eid Mubarak prayers. Speaking to the Muslim faithfuls, the Chief Imam, Alhaji Olatunde Bello, enjoined them to always put into practice all the lessons they have learnt during the Ramadan period.
My defined message is that we should keep on steadfast to what we have been doing in Ramadan. We should not let we should not allow Ramadan to go like that. We should imbibe the lessons and give way for all those things we've been doing in Ramadan. We continue with it.
Prayers of peace were offered in the state and the country at large.
Still on Eid celebration, Muslim faithful converged on separate prayer grounds to observe 2 rakat prayers at this year's Eid Fitr, which ends this obligatory Ramadan fast. OGTV News has the details of sermons delivered at Bagura Muslim Prayer Ground, Ewekoro, Isaleoko, Ishagamu, and Obafemi Central Mosque Prayer Grounds.
Eid al-Fitr prayer for Muslims marks the end of Ramadan fast, where faithful in their number converged on their various prayer grounds to offer thanks to Almighty Allah for the successful completion of Ramadan. The Chief Imam of Bagura Land, Professor Kamaldeen Balogu, in his sermon emphasized the need for Muslims to make good deeds their watchword, even beyond Ramadan, in order to maximize the gains of the annual obligation in their daily lives. In the separate sermons, Fadilat Sheikh Abdul Qadir Yusuf Junaid, the Grand Chief Imam of Remoland, Imam Fari Ike Ahmad Abeokuta, the Grand Chief Imam of Jaguno Land, Ewekoro, and Imam Bashir Jimo, the Chief Imam of Bafemi Central Mosque. Faithful must be law-abiding and extend all lessons learned during the month of Ramadan beyond the period. Some faithful across these prayer grounds also made a call to believers of Islamic faith to always adhere strictly to the teachings of Islam and make same their guiding principles, even as the electioneering period draws near. 2 rakat prayers were held across all the prayer grounds monitored.
Nigerians across ethnic and religious backgrounds have been enjoined to keep on praying for the progress of the nation. Clerics at Ifo Central Prayer Ground, Ilishon Central Mosque, and Sarudin Central Mosque, Okeodon, and Wasimi Prayer Ground gave the admonition while leading Eid prayers indicating the end of Ramadan fast.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Eid Fitr marks the end of the noble Ramadan period all over the world. The celebration of end of the Ramadan fast is celebrated by the Muslims across the globe. While admonishing the gathering at Ifo Central Prayer Ground, the Chief Imam Alhaji Ali Sanusi Olude says the Muslim communities are to be grateful to Allah for witnessing the end of Ramadan and beginning of a new month. At the Ilishon Central Mosque, the Chief Imam Alhaji Sarafaddin Adiremi Karimu declares Ramadan as the month of peace, which is of benefit to the body, mind, and the society. Chief Imam of Ansarudin Society of Nigeria Central Mosque, Okeodon, Alhaji Taiwo Tajuddin Adisa, urges all Muslims to intensify their good deeds and shun acts abhorred by God. Also at the Eid prayer led by Chief Imam Sulaiman Olanrewaju at Wasini Prayer Ground, Nigerians are employed to intensify prayers for the unity and peace of this nation. A member of the House of Representatives representing Ifo Ewekoro Federal Constituency, Honorable Ibrahim Isiaka, opines that with belief in one God, Nigeria will be better.
At Ijebu-Igbo, Iperu, Agoiwoye, and Mulipa Prayer Ground were advised to adhere to the lessons of the Holy Month. It was also said that security and education should not be toyed with for the progress of the nation. Details in this package.
Muslim faithfuls trooped out in their numbers as they joined their counterparts all over the world to celebrate Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of Ramadan.
The Muslim faithfuls gathered at various prayer grounds thanked Allah for the successful completion of the holy month of Ramadan. The Chief Imam of Ijebu-Igbo, Sheikh Abdulhakim Isa Ekwania, enjoined the faithful to embrace peace, unity, and live in harmony. Likewise, prayers were offered at Ikperu Muslim Community Prayer Ground. The Chief Imam, Ikperu Muslim Community, Sheikh Fasasi Fowora, who was represented by Sheikh Yaya Olakunle Oladujoye, now being Imam Ikperu, urged the people to abide by the tenets of Islam, be their brother's keeper, and shun violence. While Chief